Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be covering a new CNN poll that has Trump up 9 points with third parties included. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to follow the Twitter and join the Discord in the description down below. And so right now, Trump maintains lead over Biden in 2024 matchup as the views on their presidencies diverge. So the article states Donald Trump continues to hold an advantage over President Joe Biden as the campaign and the former president's criminal trial move forward, according to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. In the coming rematch, opinions about the first term of each man vying for a second term in the White House now appear to work in Trump's favor quite significantly, with most Americans saying that looking back, Trump's term was a success, while a broad majority said Biden's has been a failure. Trump's support among the poll has around 49% to Biden's 43% in the head-to-head race, which does not really differ that much since January. However, if you look at this, looking back, all Americans, of all Americans, 55% say they view Trump's presidency as a success, while 44% see it as a failure. And when you looked at the time in January 2021, about 55% considers presidency as a failure. So it's basically flipped on its head since 2021. 61% say that Biden's presidency has been a failure, while 39% say it's been successful. And that is quite a bit worse when 57% said his first year of administration was a failure and 41% said a success. But it has gotten a little bit worse since that time before. Donald Trump has coalesced most of the 92% of Republicans call Trump's time in office a success, while 73% of Democrats say the same for Biden. 51% of independents say Trump's presidency was a success, while only 37% see Biden's as a success. And that's the major caveat for him. That is really bad. And then Biden's approval ratings on the economy and inflation are very, very low. And so that's not looking good. 70% of Americans say that economic conditions in the US are pretty poor, which is basically a reverse from what it was approaching the 2020 cycle, which is really, really interesting. And even though Biden's favorable is at 35%, Trump's favorable is actually slightly higher at 37%, according to this poll. And however, Biden's unfavorable is significantly lower. Biden's unfavorable is 58%, and Trump's unfavorable is only 53%. So that's the big difference. There's a lot more people who don't like Biden that don't like Trump, if that makes sense. And so when you look at all those matchups, I tried looking at the crosstabs, but they did not have like, explicit crosstabs for this, like looking at demographics and stuff like that. And Trump right now is still leading pretty well in the RCP aggregate. He's up almost a point, and they actually did plug in the poll into the aggregate. Now, again, this is starting to Trump's, lead in some of these polls have started coming up, after the TikTok ban that I've made a video on before, after Trump's criminal trial, and the CNN exit poll, or at least the CNN poll, has been conducted during that entire time, and Trump's up 9 points in this poll. And this same poll had Trump up, or excuse me, had Biden up 16 points the month before the election. And now I'm not saying Trump is going to win the popular vote by 9. Honestly, if he did, that'd be pretty historic. I think he's probably going to end up winning it by 1 or 2 points. But for the sake of the video, we're going to look at the electoral map and basically plug this poll in and see what would happen. So pretty much the RCP aggregate is still at 0.9%, the incumbent party approval rating. And if we look at this projected PV, we pretty much have this, and this is the current unfavorability rating. But actually what we should do is actually do it based off the poll, and this is his unfavorable rating according to the CNN poll. And so now that we've plugged that in, we plugged in the swing of the popular vote and the RCP aggregate, and we have the popular vote from the poll and the swing, and we average out the results, we can basically go state by state and look at all the results in these states. Alabama is a 40-point win for Donald Trump, which quite varies vastly from the last time. He won it by 25 in 2020. So this is a pretty big defeat in the state for Joe Biden. He basically ends up losing it like 60-20 or something like that. Alaska is a safe margin. It's 22-point victory. Arizona is actually in the safe column. I am using plus 10 as a safe margin, so Arizona is classified as a safe margin. And if we look at California, it's still above 10 points, but it is under 15 as of right now. If you look at Arkansas, we could see it's a 42-point win for Trump, which is a lot higher than his 2020 victory. And if we go to California, oh yeah, that's right, we already did it. Colorado is actually tilt Democrat in this scenario. It's actually way closer than Biden's 13-point win in 2020. And it really shows. I mean, if Trump's really winning the popular vote by 9, he probably more than likely will end up barely even losing Colorado at that point, or possibly even winning it. Delaware and Connecticut are under the 10-point margin. They're a 6 and 5 point victory. District of Columbia is a 70-point win for Trump. If you look at Florida, it's exactly a 20-point win. If we look at Georgia, it is a 14-point win in the Electoral College. In Hawaii, funny enough, is almost under the safe column. It actually almost falls under 10 points, which is pretty crazy. Idaho is a 43-point win, which is a lot higher than his 30-point win in 2020. If we look at Illinois, it's actually literally like a point and a half victory, which is way lower than his 17-point win in 2020. If we go to, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, all these kind of states, these are basically they're all safe pretty much. I mean, like there's really not a lot of explanation, left to do here. They are basically all safe states at this point. Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, they are basically all safe. Kentucky's a 39-point win, which is way higher than the 25-point win. If we look at Maine's first, it is likely. Maine's second is a 24-point win for the former president, which is significantly higher than his 7-point victory in 2020. If we go to, let's see, a Maine at large, she's actually winning it by 3.8%. If we were to go to Maryland, it is still safe with Massachusetts as well. And if we go to Michigan, he's winning that by a safe margin, actually. It is above a 10-point victory. Minnesota is lean on the map as of right now. Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, these are all going to be safe states for Donald Trump. Nebraska, pretty much this is like safe Republican, and Nebraska second would be a 7-point win for Trump in that scenario. And if we look at Nevada, it's also a safe Republican state as well in this scenario. New Hampshire is a 3-point victory for Donald Trump. And if we look at New Jersey, he's actually barely losing New Jersey. New Jersey and Colorado basically vote like right next to each other in this national environment. And if we go to New Mexico, he's actually winning that by 6.5 points. New York is considered a likely margin. Biden only wins it by 7. North Carolina is completely safe Republican. And if we go to North Dakota, he's winning that by 47 points, which is, basically that's like 14 points higher than what it was in 2020. Ohio is a 22-point win for Trump. And if we go to Oklahoma, he's winning that by 45 points, which is a massive victory there. Oregon falls under the lean category. It actually is likely in this scenario. And if we go to Pennsylvania, it is a safe margin as well. All of the usual swing states basically go safe for Trump in this scenario. And if we go to Rhode Island, that's a 6-point victory for him as well. And now looking at South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, these are all basically safe states at this point, alongside Texas and Utah. Texas is a 21-point win, which is way higher than the 5-point victory in 2020. And now that already puts Trump up quite a bit. Vermont is a 24-point victory for Biden. Virginia is a 4-point win for Trump. And if we keep going, we can see Washington is a likely margin for him. And then we go to West Virginia. We can see West Virginia, Wyoming, these are safe margins, and Wisconsin is a 12-point victory, putting Donald Trump at 347 electoral votes to Biden's 191, which is similar to the other landslide scenario. But if Trump were to be winning, Colorado and New Jersey, that puts him at 371 electoral votes. So if Trump is winning the popular vote by 9, he's very easily winning the electoral college. And so if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to follow the Twitter and join the Discord in the description down below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon.